All right, good afternoon, everyone. Chris, if you could say and spell your first and last name.
Sure, it's Chris Yeager. It's CHRIS YEAGER.
Okay. And Chris, you own a company called Appalchian Cannabis Company, right?
That's correct.
And what do you guys do here?
We grow and produce industrial hemp. We mine currently right now. We mine for CBD, but there are several downstream industries that we're exploring as well.
Okay. And is biomass happen to be one of those?
Well, biomass is a byproduct of the industrial hemp plant. So we'll extract CBD from the plant, and from that there's going to be biomass that doesn't really have cannabinoid value in it any longer once you extract the cannabinoids from the plant. But there's still uses that can be made from that biomass. At that point even, we're looking at creating hemp pellets that you can burn for heat in our greenhouses. Tons of downstream industries that we've not even tapped into yet.
Hemp concrete, I've heard of all kinds
Hemp
of stuff.
concrete, bioplastics. We're looking at hopefully eventually getting into a hemp plastic that we can make that's biodegradable for grocery stores. So let's say in a 90-day period that plastic would break down and dissolve. So maybe we start to tackle plastic issues.
There's a lot of them.
Yes, there is. And something that's really a little bit closer, I think, to what fits us here in West Virginia with mountaintop removal in these mine reclamation sites is going to be hemp remediation.
Oh, I love it.
We'll be able to go in and start to leach some of those impurities out of the soil with hemp, not using those in CBD products, but again, you can take those further down the chain in the downstream industries with plastics and things of that nature.
Okay. So today we're out here, and that's interesting you say that about the plastics, because I'm going to tell you something, Chris. Out doing our digging history, we find more plastic from the 80s, the 70s, all the way back to whenever they first started making plastic. It's still out there, and it's not broken down. We carry a lot of it out with us. I mean, tons of it. We can fill up garbage cans full of the trash that we bring out of places. So I like that you're doing that. I wish that they would come up with a dissolvable pop lid. You know how everybody opens up the pop cans?
Yes.
I find more of those. I would love to see those dissolve after about 60 days. Then we'd never find them again. So, well, today we're out here at a site, and it's owned by Appalachian Cannabis Company, and they've given us permission to be out here. It's a private site, heavily guarded, folks. I'm telling you. Now, let me just go ahead and say this. They do not grow the marijuana like you all think down here. It's not like that. It's an industrial plant. You could cut down every plant and try to smoke it that you find down here, and you're just going to get a headache because it doesn't produce that same result. Am I correct about that?
It is correct. So they consider the industrial hemp anything under 0.03% would be classified or considered industrial hemp. Basically, in a nutshell, what it is this plant does not contain enough of the cannabinoid THC to be psychoactive. So if you were to consume this plant, it's not going to give you that high effect that you would get from, let's say, marijuana. It's just not there in the ratios enough to provide that effect. And so, but again, it does have several different benefits that we're exploring with CBDs and other different downstream industries. With
I know
plastics.
a lot of veterans that use the CBD oil, me being one of them.
Sure.
You know, and I'm just going to tell you right now that it changed my life. I told you about that. I mean, I came in, I was having horrible anxiety attacks. I mean, and I came in and I saw you, and it was like a difference. And I'm talking about in a short period of time. It wasn't like overnight, but it was within 3 to 5 days I started noticing a difference. Started sleeping better, started, the anxiety attacks were just gone. And you're a veteran as well.
Yes, sir.
United States Marine Corps.
Hoorah.
And I'm going to tell you something. Just because he's a Marine and I'm an Army guy doesn't mean we don't get along. I've known Chris for a long time now. I can remember first meeting Chris when he first was looking at doing this business. You remember, we met up at the Department of Agriculture, and you came in with this plan. You came in with your wonderful father-in-law, and God bless rest his soul. I mean, he's not here with us anymore. But what a wonderful man, what a wonderful person. And I'm so thankful that he made that introduction, because now we have this lifelong friendship, brotherhood.
Agreed.
You know, and Chris is running for political office, and I'm not trying to politicize the show now, but we should support our veterans, and we should support people that are going to do the right thing. And Chris definitely has a mission and a plan for West Virginia in the 14th delegate district. So I'm honored and pleased to be out here, and we're going to go out, we're going to take a look at the area and see what we can find. Let me give you a little brief history. Now, this area, and I'm going to kind of keep it on the hush.
Sure.
But this area is on the Kanawha River in Mason County. And this area was a thoroughfare. You know, for the Native Americans, we'll probably find some arrowheads out there. We'll probably find some old bullets and some newer stuff that's out there. But I'm hopeful that we will find remnants of Cox's army and some of the Union troops and Confederate troops that traveled up and down this river, and maybe even some Revolutionary War stuff, because it was all here. So what do you know about the history?
Well, not much. I'm pretty excited about your storytelling. I think that you're a staple. If we're rewinding back just a little bit, in the Mason County community, especially in the veterans community, and I know we are in an area that has a rich history dating many moons back.
Yeah.
And I'm just excited to be able to explore that with you. Talk a little bit of history, learn some things about, you know, some things that had went on down in this neck of the woods, if you will, and just enjoy ourselves and hopefully find some cool artifacts.
It's a hot day today.
It is blazing, but that cloud that just went over is like a blanket of just goodness. It feels good.
Well, that's that's the good Lord telling us, go for it, boys.
We'll have it for maybe about 10 minutes.
So we're gonna go out, we're gonna see if we can find anything, and then what you'll see is we'll go from this shot, and then you'll see some of the action shots as we're walking and talking with Digging History. Chris, I want to thank you for this opportunity. And folks, please remember to like and subscribe to us on Digging History, and also on Extreme Appalachian Discoveries. Now, that's a new site that we're doing. Chris, I didn't tell you this, but we're actually stretching our wings out a little bit.
Congratulations.
We went to Rich Mountain, a battlefield, and one night just to stop, and we recorded some things that we can't explain. And you know, I'm not one of these people that will say I'm a ghost hunter, but it was pretty cool.
Okay.
You know, some of the stuff that we had out there. And then we started talking to people about some of the history and some of the folklore around this area.
Sure.
And all through West Virginia is just filled with it.
Absolutely.
You know, massacre sites that occurred, you know, 300 years ago almost, and you have, you know, you have battles that you didn't even know about. You have really strange occurrences, and then of course we got the Mothman here too. So,
you know, and what an interesting time for this to be happening and unfolding when we're having some of the issues that we're having in the country.
Sure.
Directly dated back to our history. What a great opportunity for two veterans to maybe uncover some history in Mason County. I think that our history is important.
Critical.
I think it's told our story. I think Mason County is rich with history and tradition. And again, I'm just honored to be here with you and be on the show. I've watched the shows. I love the shows. I like watching you explore and find new artifacts and things, and I'm just honored to be doing this, going right into 4th of July weekend. That means a lot.
4th of July weekend, folks. This is July the 1st, 2020. God bless you. Keep watching us on Digging History. And remember what we say, you're not going to find anything sitting on the couch.
You sure won't.
You got to get up and get to moving.
Absolutely.
God bless. We'll catch you later.